Hello and welcome. I'm Carol DeChaine, and I'm your transformational life coach, Marconic multidimensional energy worker, and intuitive reader. And today I want to talk about different types of energy work. How do you know what's right for you? There's all sorts of different types, and you can look them up. You can even just Google your 10 most interesting types of healing work for energy workers. There's pranic healing, there's EFT tapping, there's theta healing, there is reiki and Marconics, which is what I'm doing right now. There are so many different kinds. I'm familiar the most with three of them. I know that pranic healing has to do with auras and theta has to do with brain waves, but I'm not into those, so I don't really know many details about them. But if you start reading through them, the first thing I say is what draws you? What feels right to you? And if you don't have one that really hits you when you read up about them, and you don't have to read up a lot, ask for what would work best for you, whether in prayer or meditation, and say, lead me to the one that's right. Pretty often, when you're doing that, you're going to suddenly read something, an advertisement will pop up, or somebody will just talk to you wherever, even at work, somebody will talk to you and you'll say, oh, I'm thinking of doing something a little different. And they may go, oh, well, what sort of thing? And you might feel a little funny at first about mentioning it. But I know when I first started shifting from Reiki to Marconics, I mentioned it because couldn't stop myself. I was excited about something new. And I had so many people that they don't talk about their spirituality at the office, but they started talking to me about energy healing and how much they were interested in it because it came to light. And they asked me about the type I was doing, about the type I had done before, and just one thing after another. So let me talk a little about the three that I know about to see if any of these really feel right to you. EFT tapping is what I did when I was going through my divorce. It's an energy work where you tap on certain parts of your body in a row and you say things and basically you're letting it. I'm not going to explain this great, but it feels like you're allowing your energy to shift every time you do it. You get a little less stressed. It's like it's taking it out of your body, this feeling of anger or fear or whatever it is. And when you're going through a divorce, you've got a lot of emotions. And let me say that it shifted me greatly every time I used it. I worked with a life coach who used that a lot. And the last 10 or 15 minutes, that's what we did. And I might have been crying through the whole first part of the hour. But when I got to working with her pointedly on a specific thing I wanted to deal with, she helped me by doing all the tapping things, going through the different areas, and really starting to shift my focus to release some of that tension and that pain and the stuff I was going through. Because it was all very fresh when I started working with her. And I have to say that while EFT I wouldn't necessarily go back to again for me at the time, it was wonderful. Felt like exactly what I needed. However, at the same time, I had been a Reiki master for at least 15 years at the time, and over 20 by the time I shifted to another modality in energy healing. Reiki is something that is more gentle. It's like the gentle, very spiritual feeling that you get when you send it to someone when you're a Reiki practitioner. You can touch them, you can send it if you have a higher level of attunement. You have this feeling, and I know my mother had a really bad back, and she would ask me to work on her at certain times. And I have to admit, sometimes I would forget to work on her. I got a call one time and she said, honey, did you work on me at noon? And she'd asked me to do it the night before and I'd fallen asleep and totally forgotten. And I never took lunch at noon, but I actually went to a seminar on my local transit at noon to get to San Francisco. And literally, as I looked at my watch, went, oh my God, I forgot to send my mother the Reiki I promised her. And I sent it to her, and it was right around noon when I did it. By the time I got on board, I think it was about 5 after. And she said, yeah, I started feeling it about 12:15, 12:10, something like that. And all of a sudden I started getting calmer. My body started calming. The tension and the knots that would freak her out that made her really, really hurt started loosening up. And she started getting easier and easier. And she says, oh, I felt so much better by about 12:20. And I went, yeah, I forgot to do it last night. I'm sorry. But that was exactly when I did it. And my ex-husband actually, when I was married to him, went to go to a an interview for a big job that he really wanted. And he told me exactly what time his interview was. And of course, I'm at home and I'm doing things. I'm drawing my bath. And I thought, oh, I'm going to get this stuff done. And I have plenty of time before I'm supposed to send him, Reiki. And I got to a point, and all of a sudden I looked at my watch and went, oh, I'm 10 minutes late. Oh my God, this is awful. At least I didn't wait till the next day. But I sat down, I focused, and I sent it to him. And when he came home, he said, were you 10 minutes late? And I went, I'm really sorry. And he goes, no, it was perfect. So they were 10 minutes late to come out to me. And I was freaking out, getting really nervous. And as soon as they came out, all of a sudden I felt this calmness. He said, and I glanced at my watch just because I wanted to see if that's when you started sending it. And it was the exact moment. I was exactly late for a reason. But that energy shifted his nerves and made him calm. And that's the sort of calming effect that Reiki has. It's very anti-stress kind of feeling. And it's a wonderful energy. But I wanted something more to give to my clients and my friends and my family. And so when I got into Marconics, it's so much more of a commitment as a practitioner. Reiki, you can have it and do anything you want. But Marconics is something that it raises your vibration exponentially. It's an amazing thing. I have felt so much of my fears fall away with this, and I never felt that way with anything else. Not only, but my fears, and I've heard that other people have felt the same way. Because when you start shifting and raising your vibration, people start entraining to your energy. And I was curious how that was going to work. And literally, I've had my clients have their spouses shift and change and grow and get nicer and do more around the house. Not that I'm promising that to anybody if you work with me, but that has happened. And it's really made a difference to so many people I've worked with. It's just such a joy. And so when you look at the different kinds of energy that you can work with, you'll know if it's right for you by just asking. And if you need to ask for some sort of validation on which one to choose, just say, hey, I need to know. I've had one person who said, I needed to know. I pulled up YouTube and the first thing I saw was something on Marconics and I went, I guess this is it. This is what I should try. And as soon as she saw that, she was like, it was the answer. It's what I needed. There are so many different types. Go with what calls to you. And if sometimes the energy will feel right, but the practitioner will feel wrong. So make sure that you don't blame the energy if you have the wrong person for you. Find if the energy feels right, try one person, talk to them. If they don't feel right to you, go to the next person. And if you don't feel somebody right, maybe it's not the right energy for you. Maybe that person and that personal kind of energy that comes through is not something that you want. This is all so individual. It so much depends on what you want from the energy, what kind of healing, if it's emotional, if it's a shift in your body template to be much more open to all sorts of other things, to the ascension, to whatever it may be, to love, to growth, to living on this planet in a better place. Whatever it is you want, look for the energy that feels right to you. I'll never say to somebody, this is the one you should have. Because like I said, everyone is so different. And you may have used the same energy. Perhaps like with me, I was with Reiki practitioner for 25 years and a Reiki master for 20. And I don't really use that anymore because I've shifted to something else. Does it mean that if you've worked with one type of energy, you won't change? And you might even go back to the first one after a while. But you might find that one kind of energy works well at a certain time, like the EFT tapping for me when I was going through the emotional time. Go with your gut. Go with your higher connection and ask for confirmation if you aren't sure which one. Someone will come forward, someone will mention something that you'll go, I asked, I got the answer. Just be open and pay attention, because you will know which one is right for you. Thank you for joining me here today. I hope that I've helped you make some sort of decisions, or at least know what you can do to help yourself. If you'd like to know more about me, check out my website at www.connect2joy.com, and it'll be right below this video. And by all means, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's all sorts of guided visualizations and mantras if that's something that will help you. There's over 50 of them, and that way you'll be able to have something, whatever you need, you can look at. Whatever you're trying to get through with the guided visualizations, there's hopefully something there that will help you. Until next time, blessings on you.